Greetings to you, good people, and welcome to today's episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about the importance of being watchful of what you take into your eyes and what you take into your ears. So, I'll read verbatim something that I came up with about the numerous studies that have been conducted on the effects of repetition on human behavior and cognition. So, one interesting area of this study is related to an effect called the mere exposure effect, which suggests that people tend to develop a preference of things that they are exposed to repeatedly. So one study of this topic was conducted by a psychologist named Robert Zanjong in 1968. And in these studies, participants were exposed to various stimuli, such as images, sounds, and for multiple times repeatedly. And Zanjong found that the more times participants were exposed to a certain stimulus or stimuli, the more they tended to like it, or the more they were inclined to it, even if they were not consciously aware of the exposure. So this effect has been replicated in numerous subsequent studies, like another study conducted by a psychologist called Daniel Kahneman. They found that some statements, if repeated, even if they were not true, are more likely to be found as true. And I remember there's this time when I was chilling with my brother, I used to speak about, I used to repeat a statement: the basic form of mind control is repetition. And then after some time, I do the same thing: the basic form of mind control is repetition. So at some point, he was like, the basic form of mind control is repetition. Like I sort of made him say that statement. So it shows how repetition makes us inclined towards certain things. If certain things are repeated so much, then we're inclined to them. So with that, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that your eyes are the lamp of your body. And you can find this in Matthew chapter 6, verse 23, chapter 6, verse 22 to 23, which says, "The lamp of the body is the eye." That was Jesus saying. "If therefore your eye is good, your whole body will be full of light." And then it goes ahead and says, "But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness?" So think about it. What images are you exposing yourself to? What are you seeing? What movies are you watching? What things are you reading? The more your eye sees something, and especially for a repeated amount of time, it gets to a point where these things are buried within your subconscious, and you find yourself doing these things even without your will or even without your control. So I call you to be very watchful of the things that you allow your eyes to perceive. Make sure that you protect your eyes at all costs. This might include movies, music, any form of visuals. I usually, I've said this repeatedly in my previous episodes, why Hollywood and people within the Hollywood sphere usually use repeated images that are subconsciously placed there to lead you astray. So it's very important to watch whatever you let your eyes perceive. And I'd like to even extend this philosophy to not only the eyes, but even the ears. What do you let into your ears? The thing that you let into your ears repeatedly eventually becomes part of your trait. And I'd like to even point out why music is very, it's very, I'd say, important to understand that music is core in terms of understanding the things that can affect you. Because this short clip, say like 2 minutes music, you keep on playing it repeatedly. It has words, it has messages. The person who created that music, and this is from experience because I also do music. When I write a song, there are certain things that I might probably invoke as I do that. And some people even invoke demons. Like, for example, I'm writing a love song. I find myself, I have to get into that state of imagining love maybe, and how it feels to be in love, so that I come up with a proper lyrical structure of how to influence the listener eventually. So it's important to understand the power of music. Like when Saul was had like a malady. You can check in 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 23. It says, "And so it was, whenever the Spirit from God was upon Saul, that David would take a harp and play it with his hand. Then Saul would become refreshed as well, and the distressing spirit will depart from him." So that shows how music is so powerful, because that melody that David was playing entered into Saul's ears, entered into his subconscious mind, and put him in a certain state of mind. So you can imagine the kind of music that you listen to. If you listen to hard type of music, people singing about violence, gun violence every time, and they're rapping about it, you might find yourself in a certain situation where you are inclined towards even purchasing certain things like guns. You are influenced towards sort of violence. So it's important to watch whatever you let into your eyes and let into your ears. In 1 John chapter 2 verse 16, it says, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world." I think this verse, you can use it to exhort you to understand that, and it's very interesting to see that the lusts of the flesh and the lusts of the eyes are in the same context. So it means that you are probably inclined to sin with the flesh, that which you have been looking at, that which you have been watching for a very long time. And so even like, for example, you find yourself scrolling endlessly on Instagram or on TikTok, watching these nude ladies maybe, or half-naked ladies. It influences you in such a way that whenever you look at a lady, you do not see that lady as a person or someone who has a character. You literally undress them with your eyes when it comes to the real world. So I call you to be very careful on what you let into your eyes and what you let into your ears. In Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 5, it states that it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. So here Solomon was pushing us or urging us as believers to be wary of what we listen to. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise. So the rebuke will probably enter your ear, the rebuke will probably enter your ears, and then give you some sort of conviction for you to change your ways. But you listen to the song of fools, you end up doing what the song of fools states, and probably it's something foolish. So I call you believers that you incline your ear to hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to search the knowledge of God. And this is from reference of Proverbs chapter 22 verse 17 to 19. "Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you." So as I end this episode, I'd like to say that it is very, very important to be watchful of what you take into your eyes, what you take into your ears. Be wary of the devil. He uses devices. Certain devices, so that he traps believers. You listen to certain things for a very long period of time. You listen to curses. You find yourself cursing also. So be careful of who you listen to. The artists that you listen to, be careful of the people that you watch. So with this is the end of this episode, and thank you for watching till the end. Till next time, this is Christ is God Ministries. Cheers.